the absolute worst someone could do with a program like this is feel like it's something that's done to them, and to feel like it's something that they have to do. It's a hoop to jump through because they want this QTS. And it's not about that for me. It is difficult. I'm not going to, say it's not. You've got to keep on top of it. That's the job. That's the nature of the job. And if you can't do that, are you in the right job? So yeah, we just chunk it. We take it week by week, and we're very keen to get something out of it for us. And that sounds a bit selfish. Sorry, I don't mean it to. But we're trying to think, this is a wonderful program. It's wonderfully well researched. This is clearly the way forward. What do we want from it? Let's get something from it. Let's sit and work out how this is going to fit into history at Queen Elizabeth Sixth Form College, and how might it fit into other departments that I can disseminate around the place. And that's where I go with it. And every week I'm thinking, where does this fit with what we're doing, and what do I want from this? What do I want my ECT to get from this as well?
That's really important, isn't it? To allow your ECT to see the value in it, and it's not at all selfish, or that's really important. Any sort of episode of professional learning, you have to say, how is this going to make a difference to my classroom, or to my subject knowledge, or my skill in the classroom? All of that's really that is really important. I absolutely get that. And so you chunk it week by week. You more or less you follow the schedule as it's presented to you, James, or have you altered that in any way?
Only ever once. There was I can't remember off the top of my head what it was, but it became apparent that because of something we were doing in a skills focus in history, it was elements of sequencing we were looking at. I merged 2 of the weeks into one, but dealt with it over 2 weeks.
Right.
Because it fit what we were doing. So I kind of read ahead. I knew what was coming in the program. I knew what we planned in our team prep on the weekly packs for the following 2 weeks. And I thought, hang on a minute, there's something that works there as a whole. Ordinarily, I do just follow it, week by week. It's interesting you said something there about kind of selling it to the ECT. I do think that's hugely important. I think there's a sense, people come out of teacher training and they think, okay, I've got it now. I've done this. I've done my training. I've got my certificate. I've made it. And I'm like, no, you haven't. If you ever think you've made it in this job, you might be stagnated. You might actually be starting to lose it, because the game is changing all the time. And if you can't recognize that the game's changing all the time, you're not playing it anymore. So selling it as something that's continuous and something that's, you get something out of every different year that you teach. Someone once said to me, I forget who it was and I forget when it was, but do you have 10 years of teaching experience, or do you have 1 year that you've repeated 9 times? I don't ever want to be that guy, and I don't want my ECT to ever be that guy. I'm the guy with 10 years, whatever it is, teaching experience, and I want my ECT to be, actually every year is different, and that's the beauty of this job, though. Who wants to do the same thing over and over? What's the point?